Hello and welcome to another edition of Cooking Technique Tuesday. I thought I would make some Irish soda bread. Say that 10 times fast. So, I actually found this recipe in an Irish cookbook from, it's like one of those $10 books that you get at Barnes & Noble, but I've actually been using it for the last decade, and it always works, and it's really easy. So I've got flour, I've got baking soda, I've got some salt. I'm gonna mix it together a little bit, but what I really want to do is sift it. And I always find that I am extremely messy with flour. So that is why I have it in a bowl. I have a giant spoon, and I've got my sifter here in another bowl, and I've got my buttermilk ready to go. So basically what I do, sift. Takes no time at all. There we go. And if you get kind of towards the bottom, and you can use the spoon to kind of get out that last little bit. But sifting, it's going to add some air to it. And this is a yeast-free bread. So we're actually going to use the buttermilk and the baking soda that I just put in here as the leavening agent. So I'm going to go ahead and sift this, and I'm going to fast forward while I do it. And we are back. So what I did was actually took the spoon, and you want to make just a little well in the center of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add most of the buttermilk. Not quite all of it, but the majority of it. There we go. And I'm going to start by using my spoon. And really we just want to start to incorporate the buttermilk and the flour. And then here in just a minute, I do have a little bit of excess flour because we always want to knead our dough on a well-floured surface. And yeah, I can already tell it's gonna need a little bit more. There we go. I love Irish soda bread too, and it's so easy to make. I make it every St. Patrick's Day, but I also actually usually do a sweeter version of it. Basically, I just add some sugar to the dough. All right, now I'm gonna work it with my hands. So, but what I do with it actually is I make bread pudding with it. This is not low point, but yeah, it's really good. So I sweeten this a little bit, and I make a Bailey's Irish cream custard for the bread pudding itself. And then I make a Jameson white chocolate sauce. It's really good. It's probably 1,000 points, but you know what? It's once a year. And for some reason, I absolutely love St. Patrick's Day. I'm not Irish. I do have family that is Irish by marriage, my aunt who married my dad's brother. Her parents were actually from Ireland. So, but I love Ireland. I used to work at a pub in Times Square, actually, called Langan's. It's long since closed down. But I was the only American there, and everybody else was basically Irish. It was very cool. So, alrighty, I've got my dough here. So what I'm going to do, it's a little sticky. So we're going to go ahead and take it out of the bowl, and I'm going to knead it. But again, first and foremost, a well-floured surface. There we go. Work a little bit more of that flour into it. Ooh. Yeah, see, I'm a mess with flour. It's always so funny to me. I was, usually pretty clean in the kitchen, but for some reason when flour is involved, it's like I'm in an episode of I Love Lucy. So, whatever. But let's go ahead. Take this out. There's a couple little scraggly pieces. And let me get all the stuff that I have off. As you can tell, I'm not a pastry chef. I like to call myself a grandma baker because, yeah, I don't know. I love baking, and I know there's such a science to it, but I'm definitely more of a cook by how you feel, by how it tastes, as much as I love science. I like to kind of cook by the seat of my pants, so to speak. So, there we go. Ooh, it's actually coming together quite lovely, and really didn't need that much. I know there's a little bit of extra right there, but this is a gorgeous loaf. So what I'm going to do as you can see. I'm actually gonna take a knife and I'm just gonna cut an X in the top to help kind of, well, release some of the air. Actually, according to legend, it's to release fairies. So why don't we go with that? So I'm gonna go ahead actually and throw this in the oven, just on a sheet tray with some parchment paper. I'm gonna spray it a little bit with some oil spray, and I'll see you when it's all done. Alrighty, and we are back. So my bread is out of the oven. I've let it cool. As you can see, it's made a gorgeous loaf with the cut on the top. And one of the things they tell you to listen for to know that it's done is if it sounds hollow, which it does. So I'm gonna let this cool. I'm not gonna cut into it right now. It's still fairly warm. So, but Irish soda bread, really, really easy. I'll be having this rather, along with my favorite corned beef and cabbage, which for me is just worth the points. So, Irish soda bread recipe is attached to this post, and I'll see you next Cooking Technique Tuesday. Have a good one.